Okay, hi everyone. Today we will be starting with the chapter coal and petroleum. Alright, it is a very interesting chapter. We see coal and petroleum being used all around us. We all know what it is, but we will go into a deeper sense and we will find what all can be obtained from coal and petroleum other than the fuel. Okay, and what all those products are used for. Okay, so coal gives many products. Petrol also gives many products. We will find how these two are made, how these products are made, where are they used, how are they used. Okay, let's get into it. Coal and petroleum. Coal and petroleum are fossil fuels. First of all, they are fossil fuels that are formed from the remains of ancient plants and animals over millions of years. What do I mean by ancient? Means they lived very long ago. Okay, millions of years ago. Okay, so plants and animals, they died, their bodies sunk into the earth, where they went a lot of heat since it is hot inside the earth, and pressure. How pressure? Since there's a lot of layers of land. Okay, there was a lot of pressure. Okay, and over millions of years that became like this. Okay, and it could be burned. This is carbon. Okay, this is carbon. Coal and petroleum, they are all carbon. Okay, this became a fossil fuel. Okay, fossil fuel. Why fossils? Because this is the remains of ancient plants and animals. It is kind of a fossil, but it became a fuel. So fossil fuels. Coal and petroleum are both fossil fuels. Okay, that are formed from the remains of ancient plants and animals over millions of years. Okay, over millions of years, these plants and animals decayed in high pressure, okay, to form coal and petroleum. Coal and petroleum. These energy resources play a crucial role in various sectors such as transportation, electricity, generation, and industrial processes. So, for example, have you seen a malgadi? Okay, goods carriage, a train that carries goods. We can see over there coal being transported a lot. Why was this coal used earlier? Okay, coal is used right now for electricity generation. Okay, in our cities, most of the electricity is generated through coal, burning coal. Okay, industrial processes, for to drive out many machinery, to work many machinery, we need energy. That energy comes from coal. Okay, transportation. Earlier, engines, okay, coal engines were used. Okay, you put coal inside the engine, it would work, it would produce a lot of smoke, but it was used for transportation. Okay, petroleum as well. Petroleum is used in transportation, industrial processes. However, they are non-renewable resources. What do I mean by non-renewable resources? Means they are limited quantity in nature. Now, supposedly, your mom gives you 5 chocolates. Okay, you don't have an unlimited supply of chocolates. You are only limited to 5 chocolates. This is how coal and petroleum are also limited with the earth. Okay, there is a limited quantity. There is only some quantity of coal and petroleum that is available. Okay, and it will take millions of years for them to form again. Okay, so we also have to think about our human race. Okay, our future generations, how they will be able to use this. Okay, so these are non-renewable. Again, the word suggests non-renewable. Something that is renewable means it can be gained again. Okay, it can be renewed, means it can be found again, replenished. Okay, meaning that thing is renewed. Now non-renewable is they cannot be renewed. Okay, not very fast. Renewable resources can be renewed very fast or in the nearest time. However, non-renewable resources will take a lot of time to be renewed, and in some cases they cannot be renewed altogether. Okay, so that was renewable and non-renewable. Coal and petroleum are both non-renewable resources. What do I mean by resource? Something that is useful is a resource. Okay, natural resources. Now, things that occur naturally and are useful for us. Alright, natural resources are materials that occur in nature and can be used by humans for various purposes. Okay, natural suggests nature. Okay, these are all materials and substances, all the things that we use and are obtained in nature, from nature. Okay, this can be used by humans for various purposes. If you ever go to Himachal or forest areas, you will see people use natural resources, water from the river, wood from the trees, fruits from the trees that they grow. Alright, these are all natural resources which can be grown again, can be found again. They are replenished, renewed by water, by nature. Okay, so for example, consider water over here. Okay, this is a waterfall, okay, of fresh water. We can drink this. Now I take some water from here, it will be renewed, replenished again. Okay, and now this will not dry up anytime soon. Okay, it will rain, it will start flowing again, so it is a renewable resource. Okay, now we come to wood. These are all natural resources. Alright, these are all natural. This water is natural, this wood that occurs is natural. These are all natural resources, occur in nature and can be used by humans. They are classified into two main categories, renewable and non-renewable. Like I told you, all resources can be classified into two parts, renewable and non-renewable. While renewable resources can be replenished naturally over time, okay, they can be replenished, means they can be renewed. Today I take some water, again tomorrow I will be able to get some water. Okay, it is replenished. Non-renewable resources like coal and petroleum are finite. What do I mean by finite? What is finite? Limited. Okay, I can count it. There is only some amount of it. Okay, there is no unlimited supply. It is finite. What is finite? Limited. Infinite? Unlimited. So non-renewable resources are finite and they will eventually be exhausted. Exhausted means they will eventually be consumed altogether. There will be none left soon. Okay, eventually means in time it will all be used up. Okay, exhausted. They are a limited quantity in nature and should be used wisely. All the non-renewable resources are in limited quantity and should be used wisely. What do I mean by wisely? With intellect. It should not be wasted. Okay, I want it to be used nicely, wisely, so that there is not any wasting, there is not any damage. Okay, so that everyone can use, cause there is only some amount of it, right? So over here you can also see this wood. It is a natural resource. Why do we use wood? We use it for burning, for heat, to make stuff, to make furniture. Okay, to make houses. All this is used. Okay, these are all natural resources. Now we come to coal. Okay, what products are obtained from coal? Now I know coal, you all have seen coal, but like I mentioned, there will be a lot of products A, B, C that we obtain from this coal, and we obtain while making coal as well. Okay, while coal is being made, okay, in under deep pressure, there are also other things that are found out. Okay, so coal undergoes various processes to obtain different products. Okay, so coal undergoes a lot of processes. We can heat it at different temperatures, okay, and obtain different products. So the first product that we will see is coke, not Coca-Cola, coke, C-O-K-E. Coke is something that is obtained from coal. It is high carbon product, means it has a lot of carbon. What do I mean by carbon? C. Product obtained by heating coal in absence of air. What is absence of air? Anaerobic. Anaerobic. Okay. When I heat coal, okay, I provide some good heat to it, but there was no oxygen or air involved. Okay. I put it in a environment where there was no air, and I heated it. I obtained coke. Coke is primarily used as a fuel and as a reducing agent in the production of iron and steel. Okay, so where is this used? Usage is very important. Okay, now I obtained coke from coal, but where do I use it? It is also used as a fuel. I burn it to get energy. Fuel means I drive machines with it, I use it to get energy. It is used as a reducing agent. What do I mean by reducing agent? When I am producing iron and steel, okay, steel is iron and carbon. Okay, so when I'm producing it, I need steel and iron to be found differently, to be obtained differently. Okay, to get that we use a reducing agent. What is a reducing agent? So that I can obtain all the things that I need in differently, not as a mixture. That reducing agent is coke. That reducing agent is coke. In what production? Iron and steel. Okay, so if they ask you this product of coal is used in the production of iron and steel as a reducing agent. What is this reducing agent? This is coke. Now we come to the second one, coal gas. What is coal gas? It is produced by the destructive distillation of coal and consists of mainly of hydrogen, methane and carbon monoxide. Okay, so it is a gas obtained from destructive distillation. Okay, distillation, this coke will undergo a lot of processes, a lot of flask, okay, and a lot of heating, cooling, destructive distillation. We will obtain different products at each step. Okay, and coal gas is also obtained due to this process. Okay, and what all is involved in this gas? Okay, one gas can have a lot of other gases. Okay, it could be a mixture of all gases. So over here it has hydrogen, that is H, methane, CH4, carbon monoxide, that is CO. Okay, all these gases comprise to, or they combine together to form coal gas. Coal gas has historically been used for lighting and heating purposes. Where is coal gas used? Coal gas has been historically, means in since ancient times, it has been used for lighting and heating. Okay, so light and heat, a basic fuels purpose is light and heat. Coal tar. What is coal tar? It is a viscous, dark viscous. What do I mean by viscous? It is a very thick liquid. It does not flow easily. Honey is very thick. It is very viscous. Okay, with an unpleasant smell. Unpleasant smell. Okay, so it has a very strong unpleasant smell. Okay, you cannot smell it for long. Obtained by distillation of coal. Like I told you, distillation gives us coal gas. Distillation also gives us coal tar. Okay, where is this coal tar used? Coal tar finds application in production of dyes. What is dye? Dye is something that is used to color another thing. Okay, so if you've seen your parents dye their hair, okay, In dyes, they use coal tar, not those hair dyes, but dyes can be used for a lot, for coloring a lot of things. Okay, it is used in drugs, it is used in explosive. What do I mean by drugs? It is used to make some sort of medicine, some sort of something. It is used in explosives. Okay, something of a bomb, coal tar can be used. It could be used for construction purposes, in mountains to make tunnels. Okay, and roofing materials. What do you mean by roofing materials? In the construction of the roof of your house, coal tar was used. For waterproofing, it is used. Okay, it is also used for metaling roads. Now the most probable area where you have seen coal tar is roads. If you've ever seen roads being constructed, there is this black substance that is put on the roads and it cools down and then it is all smooth road and cars are able to drive on it. That is coal tar. It is very black, thick liquid, hot, thick, with an unpleasant smell. Okay, so in earlier days coal tar was used. However, these days bitumen is something that is obtained from petrol. These days this bitumen is used. Okay, so now we no longer use coal tar, because once it got cold it usually started to break. Okay, there was more and more maintenance required. Coal ash. Okay, what is coal ash? It is the residue left after burning coal. Now I am burning coal. Okay, there is some residue, ash form left, and it contains various minerals. What is ash? You have seen ash. When you burn something, you are left with ash. Okay, what is burnt? Now burning of coal leaves some ash, that is coal ash, and this has various minerals as well. Okay, coal ash can be used in construction materials such as cement and bricks, to make bricks, to make cement. To use this, coal ash is used. So what all products? Coke, coal gas, coal tar, coal ash. How they are obtained? Where they are used. Okay, these two things are always important. Refining of petroleum. Petrol is a very thick, dark, oily liquid. Okay, with a strong smell. We have all smelled petrol. Okay, it has a very strong smell, addictive smell. Obtained from remains of microorganisms. Remains. It is a fossil fuel due to action of high pressure and heat over millions of years, like I told you. This is what distillation is. We heat it, we get some gas over here, we get the rest of the liquid over here. This is distillation. Coal and petroleum both undergo distillation. This is the method of distillation, these two. Okay, petroleum refining. Now we obtain petrol in crude form. Okay, in a kacha form. All right, in a raw form. That is then refined. It is sent to the factories where we separate all the impurities and the purities and all the gases and everything from that crude oil. Okay, so from that raw oil we separate petrol through petroleum refining. Okay, and we obtain various useful products. It involves separation of crude oil into various different fractions. Okay, we separate, suppose this was crude oil. Okay, I separate some part of it over here as this, some part of here as this, some part of here as this. Okay, how does this happen? Supposedly now I have crude oil. Okay, I will separate impure substances. I will obtain petrol. This petrol will go for refining. Okay, this goes for refining. I obtain bitumen, I obtain wax, I obtain this, I obtain that, a lot of things. So petroleum refining is the process through which I converted this crude oil into useful things. Okay, and how are these useful things obtained? Through fractional distillation. What do I mean by fractional distillation? Each component of this crude oil will have a different melting point, boiling point. I heat it up to that. I separate it from my existing crude oil. Okay, and I obtain that. Okay, so using heat as a separator. Okay, based on their boiling points through process called fractional distillation. Remember this process. It is fractional distillation. The fractions obtained include, now what products are these that are obtained from petroleum refining? Gasoline, diesel, kerosene, lubricating oil and bitumen. Okay, remember these 5 things that are given. A lot more things are used, obtained, like paraffin wax. Okay, wax is also obtained. A lot of things are, but these are the major ones. Fractions: gasoline, diesel, kerosene, lubricating oil and bitumen. Now what constitutes petroleum? Okay, petroleum constitutes of hydrocarbon compounds, which are organic compounds made of carbon and hydrogen atoms. Okay, so like I have said, carbon can form long chains. Okay, and it can form long chains with hydrogen. Okay, consider something like CH4, that was natural gas. So this is one carbon attached to 4 hydrogen atoms. Okay, 4 hydrogen atoms. This is a hydrocarbon. Simple hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbons are also of various types, considering how this H is attached to it, what type of bond is this, how many carbons are there. Okay, so these hydrocarbons are called alkanes, cycloalkanes, aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay, these hydrocarbons have a lot of types, a lot of types. One of this type is alkanes. Okay, they, when this H is bonded with this carbon through a single bond, right? Everywhere it is a single bond. It is an alkane. This is an alkane. Methane. You see, ane. Alkane, methane. Okay. Alkanes is a column. Okay. It is a type. Methane is an example of alkane. Okay. Methane, butane, pentane, everything with ane is alkane. Why? Because of a single bond. Had there been a double bond, consider double bond. Okay, there can only be 4 attached to one carbon. Okay, this was not alkane, this was alkene. Okay, need not go into details, but this is what happens. So remember the names of constituents of petrol. This is alkanes, cycloalkanes, aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay, now alkanes, that are saturated hydrocarbons with single bonds, like I told you, between carbon atoms. Examples include methane, ethane, propane, butane. Okay, cycloalkanes, these are hydrocarbons with a ring structure. Okay, so when C, 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 these are attached to H. You need not learn this, but since this is a ring structure, it is called a cycloalkane. So just remember the names: alkanes, cycloalkanes, aromatic hydrocarbons. These are what constitute petroleum. Liquefied petroleum gas. Now this is something that is also a mixture of hydrocarbons, okay, gases that are mostly propane and butane. These are alkanes. See the end, ane. Okay, these are alkanes. LPG is a mixture of both of these: propane, butane, propane, butane. They make LPG. It is obtained during the refining of petroleum and is commonly used as fuel for cooking, heating and certain vehicles. Gas cylinders that are found at homes, okay, these contain this propane and butane, and we know this as LPG cylinders. LPG is obtained from petrol. Okay, remember that refining I told you about, we also get LPG. It is obtained during refining of petroleum, and is used for cooking. Okay, where do you use this cylinder? For cooking in kitchen, heating. Okay, and in certain vehicles LPG is also used. LPG is stored in pressurized cylinders, LPG cylinders, to keep it in liquid state. Okay, there is liquid inside. It is a gas, but we put so much pressure on it that it becomes a liquid, and it is sold in these cylinders. Now we come to natural gas. I told you what is natural gas, CH4. Okay, it is a fossil fuel primarily composed of methane and small amounts of other hydrocarbons as well, but mainly methane. It is usually found in association with petroleum deposits. So if there is a petrol deposit, there will be natural gas over it or under it somewhere. Okay, it is found with crude oil only, petrol only. Natural gas is a clean burning fuel. Okay, it does not do pollution. Clean burning fuel, and is used heating, cooking, electricity generation. Where do I use natural gas? Heating, cooking, and electricity generation. Now I come to compressed natural gas. What is compressed natural gas? CNG. We have seen autos, they use CNG. We have seen cars, they use CNG. Okay, CNG is a natural gas compressed to a high pressure for use as fuel in vehicles. Okay, so supposedly consider this container and I have a lot of gas inside it. I take a pressing machine. Okay, this is the handle, and I press it very hard, high pressure. It will now compress to like this. Okay, so this will be only what is left. There will be a lot of compressed molecules. This machine has come down. Okay, this will be compressed form. This is compressed natural gas. When I use natural gas and I compress it a lot, it becomes compressed natural gas. It is CH4, but it is compressed. Okay, so now natural gas is a clean burning fuel. So when I use it for cars, it is comparatively pollution free, cleaner as petrol. So it has environmental benefits. CNG produces fewer emissions of pollutant. It does not give a lot of pollution compared to gasoline, diesel, petrol. Okay, so for less pollution in the environment, we used CNG. Okay, cost saving. CNG is very cheap as compared to petrol. Why? Because petrol goes through a lot of processes. Petrol is costly. However, CNG is not that costly. CNG you will always find at a lower price than petrol, gas, gasoline, diesel. Okay, and so it is good for the pocket as well because the cost is very low. Domestic availability. Many countries have abundant natural gas reserves. Okay, so in most countries you will find a lot of natural gas, and since there is a lot of natural gas, there can be a lot of compressed natural gas. Thus, since it is obtained easily in every country, okay, domestically available, it is available in your country. Okay, so there will be less cost. We will not have to get it from another country. This is also a benefit. So environmental, cost saving, and domestic. Renewable, non-renewable resources, I have told you. Okay, renewable resources that can be replenished naturally by within a human lifespan. Okay, so maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but an year from now that resource will be renewed. It is still considered renewed. Okay, non-renewable will take a lot of years, more than my lifetime, your lifetime. Okay, if I consume some coal today, that will take more years to form again. Okay, now examples include solar energy, wind energy, hydroelectric energy, biomass. These are all renewable resources. Okay, they are abundant in nature and I can get it again and again and again. Okay, now conservation of coal and petroleum. Since it is non-renewable, we need to use it wisely. We need to save. We should ensure there is no wastage. How do we conserve? How do we keep a check on it. How do we make sure that we have it? See this, due to limited availability of coal and petroleum, their conservation is crucial. This saving is crucial. Conservation can be achieved through various measures. Now, how do I do that? First one is energy efficiency. Promoting energy efficient practices. What do I mean by energy efficient? That utilize energy, okay, things that utilize energy in a very less amount. Okay, so I want more and more work done in less amounts of energy. So if I focus on technology, if I'm focusing on practices that consume less energy but give me more, that is energy efficiency. Okay, these technologies can reduce the overall consumption of coal and petroleum. Okay, these technologies can reduce overall consumption of coal and petroleum. All right. Alternative energy sources. I can switch to some renewable resources, okay, if it is possible. Now, for heating or getting my water hot in winters, I would not use coal because it is limited. Okay, I could have used a solar heater. Okay, I could have used something else, a renewable resource. Okay, so alternative energy source, encouraging use of renewable energy sources. Nowadays you see people have solar panels involved, put up over their houses, on their roofs. Why? Because the heat that was because the sunlight that was falling on their houses was going waste. Okay, they can use that sunlight to convert it into electricity to be utilized at night, to run their homes, to cook their food. Okay, this is a renewable form. So alternative energy sources. And like CNG is an alternative energy source for vehicles rather than coal and petroleum. Okay, now I have recycling and reuse. Promoting recycling means using again and again. Recycle, I used it, now I recycle it and I use it again. Okay, reuse of products can reduce the demand for new materials derived from coal and petroleum. So for example, we considered wax. Okay, paraffin wax. Paraffin wax is used in a lot of things, to make a lot of things, to make candles and all. If I have used that wax once, okay, it has melted, I can use it again and make more candles out of it. Okay, that is recycling and reusing. Okay, so conservation of coal and petroleum is also important because it is limited in nature. Okay, so that will be all.